A person without self-control is like a city with broken down walls. Proverbs chapter 25 verse 28. Men who live reactively never lead. They survive, they cope, they manage whatever life throws at them, but they never lead. This is because leadership begins with self-government. The difference between a leader and a reactive man isn't personality. It is not confidence, charisma, or temperament. It is whether a man is directed by his values and vision or by whatever is happening around him in that moment. One sets the temperature, the other reflects it, and the world can always tell the difference. The Bible gives us a powerful example in the story of Esau. Most people remember it as a story of Jacob's deception, but the deeper lesson is about Esau's reactivity. Esau was the firstborn. He carried inheritance, authority, influence, and a place in one of the most significant family lines in history. Yet, he traded it all for a bowl of stew. Think about that. He didn't lose his birthright in a battle. He wasn't robbed of it. He handed it away. Why? Because he came home hungry. His hunger was real, but it was temporary. The problem was that his temporal discomfort became more important than his permanent inheritance. And that is exactly how reactive men operate. They surrender what is permanently valuable to relieve what is temporarily painful. A reactive man never stops long enough to ask, what will this cost me tomorrow? He only asks, how do I feel right now? And that is dangerous because the greatest losses in a man's life rarely happens in a dramatic moment. Sometimes it is relationship damaged by emotional reactions. Sometimes it is opportunity lost because pressure forced a decision. Sometimes it is the slow loss of trust from the people closest to him. Over time, people stop looking at reactive men for direction because they realize he is being controlled by circumstances instead of controlling himself. A leader must be able to see beyond the present moment. He must distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. He must be able to remain steady when everyone else is panicking. That is why the deepest foundation of leadership isn't discipline alone. It is being anchored in God. Think about Jesus sleeping in a boat while a storm raged around him. The disciples reacted. Jesus directed. Or think about Jesus in the wilderness after 40 days of fasting, hungry, vulnerable, offered immediate relief. The same trap Esau fell into, temporal comfort in exchange for long-term purpose. But Jesus refused to react to his hunger. He responded from his convictions. That is the difference. A man anchored in God responds from values. A reactive man responds from feelings. And those two paths lead to very different futures. The people around you don't need a thermometer. They need a thermostat. They need a man who carries vision, a man who remains steady under pressure, a man who knows what he is building and refuses to abandon it when circumstances become uncomfortable. So here's the question. Are you directing the storms in your life or are they directing you? Do not sell your birthright for a bowl of stew. The hunger is temporal. The birthright is generational. Guard it accordingly. My name is IQ Jibe and this is my unsolicited advice.